9 things I wish I knew before buying Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So the game just came out a couple of days ago and I already had some solid time on the game, and I just want to share some things that are important to know before going into this game. I mainly want to go over the issues I've been having and that you should expect, as some of the things may ruin the experience. Now I want to note that I actually do really love this game so far, and I personally find it worth the buy, and I will continue playing many more hours on this game. So let's get into it with the first issue, which is a major one, but it's also a fixable one, and that's the server and stability issues. Playing this game solo actually goes pretty smooth. You won't run into many issues finding a match, and you won't have to keep restarting your lobbies. The main issue has been with parties. After every game I've played with a party, we have to restart and re-invite everyone to the lobby, and this is just super annoying to deal with, as it's not as simple as just sending an invite, but you have to repeat this 6-digit code or send it to them every single time. And sometimes once you get the party to work, you'll just get a network error and have to restart your game. Based off what I've been seeing, this has mainly been an issue for Steam players, but we randomly get this network error and have to restart our game to find a lobby, and I'm not sure why. Now me and my friends have also run into a few issues where the game actually crashes mid-game. Sometimes it'll be for just one of us, or it'll be the whole lobby. It could be connection or hardware issues on our end, but I've been hearing people have the same issues. Overall, we haven't had too many of these issues. The game isn't like unplayable. If anything, it's just trying to play with friends has been the most annoying part, as it significantly increases the time in between games. The second thing I want to talk about is the lobby waiting room. Before every game, you will be put into a lobby room with 6 other players, and the game will not start unless 7 people are in the room. And this has been super annoying because the wait time is 3 minutes. Like, I genuinely don't understand why it takes so long. Like, if everybody's readied up, then it'll start right away. But there's always that one person who makes everyone else wait an extra 2 minutes. And it just adds to the pain of trying to load into games. I honestly think they should make it a majority vote, and if 5 out of the 7 people are ready, the lobby should start. Because there's no reason that 6 people should have to wait for one person who's probably on their phone. Also, if one person leaves right when the lobby's going to start, the lobby won't start, another person has to join. But 95% of the time, that last spot does not fill and you have to load up a new lobby. So PSA, if you don't get your favorite character, please just try out someone else. I promise it's not that bad. I do it and it's just very nice to play the game, so stop leaving because you didn't get your main. It's not that serious. So these first 2 reasons are very annoying, but I also think they're very fixable and will be fixed with time. So maybe we should send this to the devs. As long as they're notified of this, I'm sure this will get fixed, because it is hurting the game in the long run. Something else I wish I knew is the game is 95% just knowing the maps. If you know the maps as both victim or family, you will have a pretty good chance of winning. I believe each map has 4 ways to escape. If you know those exits and how to open them, and where all the objects, tools, and bone piles are, you can own these games. As long as you stay out of sight of the family and drop down the wells when they find you, which have saved my life a lot, you'll be good. I will probably make map guides on this game before anything else, because it's literally most of the game. No matter who or what perks you're using, if you have a map mastered and you can stay a little stealthy, there's a good chance you will win. Now for our 4th thing, it's teamwork is necessary. After playing this game, I've learned a few things. As the killers, you have to work together, especially if you're playing as someone like the cook. It's so easy to get away from a family member. Sometimes you can't get caught lacking, but overall, if you see one going towards you, you can and should be able to get away from one. But if you have a teammate who really isn't doing anything as a killer, it's very difficult to stop the victims from escaping. Now for my 5th thing, teamwork isn't necessary. Now you might be a little confused, like what? You just said it was. But let me explain. As victim, you actually don't need teamwork. It's very difficult to save your teammates once they're caught, to the point where it's just everyone for themselves. And on top of that, you can completely open an exit all by yourself with the proper map awareness as mentioned earlier. Of course, it does help to have your team, but it isn't as necessary as it was in DBD. In DBD, if your 3 teammates were brain dead, it was hatch or nothing else. With this one, you just have to stay healthy and get to an exit without being caught, and you can escape. And if you want to be a great teammate, you can do the basement exit, which usually needs to be opened above ground, and if one of your teammates are waiting by that exit, that's an easy escape for them. But teamwork definitely isn't necessary to escape. Quick bonus thing you should know is this guy SuperCali8 is uploading TCM content to help you out with everything you need to know about TCM. He also does TCM giveaways, so make sure to subscribe. Now another thing I want to talk about is progression. And well, it takes forever. Now if you're focusing on one character and one character only, you're fine. But if you're like me and you want to try to spread out the skill points, you find it takes a while. The reason why I and many others aren't just focusing on one character is because we want to have the options when someone chooses our favorite character. Or we just want a character to use when we switch between the killer and survivor. Which I actually don't mind that we're forced to use different characters. I love the fact that everyone has to be different characters. It makes the game feel mixed and prevents someone from spamming a meta. It makes the game feel very mixed and prevents there from being a spammed meta. But I definitely feel like each character should be a little easier to level up, especially in the earlier levels. and maybe make it a little more difficult for the higher levels. The way DBD has it is perfect to me. It's super easy to focus on a character and max them out one at a time, and if you get to the point where you've maxed out a character, maybe just let us prestige or something. It just seems like we are pushed to focus all our upgrades on one character, which I don't like since obviously we can't use the same character every time. Hopefully they'll make it easier and make it so that we could spread out our skill points. Maybe not have everyone maxed out so fast, but at least let us get a couple characters to like level 5 or something. Now here's a quick tip on actually leveling up a little bit faster. You just want to complete as many actions as you can that aren't the main objective. There's been many games where I have no kills and don't escape, but I got so much done that I ended up with the most XP in the lobby. So make sure you're always doing something to get some XP going. Next thing is voice chat does work, but it can be pretty annoying. And it's not so easy to mute people who might be little assholes, or just have very loud mics, which leads people to just completely turning it off so they don't have to worry about muting anybody. I do leave it on for the people who want to communicate, but I wish they would make it a little easier to mute people who are being annoying. Another thing I'm sure many of you want to know is if it's killer or victim sided, and apparently it's both. I've already seen people complain about the game being both killer or survivor sided, so the game seems pretty balanced to me. For me, I've escaped a fair share of times as victim, and as killer I've also gotten a lot of almost or full wipes. I think we will begin to see if the game is more killer or survivor sided as people begin to learn the maps and max out their characters. As mentioned earlier, if you know the map, you can escape fast, and I mean in 2 minutes fast. But as a killer, if you know where that weak exit is, you can make sure to reinforce it and keep that weak side blocked. It just seems like everything has its own counter, and the game can definitely be a chess match. But at the end of the day, it's not even that serious anyway, and I'm not even worried about which side is more advantaged or whatever. As long as it's like I can sometimes escape, I'm fine with it. You know, as long as I complete some objectives, I'll leave with decent XP. And for the killers, you know, as long as we kill one or a couple of them, that's cool too. For me personally, I haven't even had a full victim escape yet, so I definitely don't think it's either sided. Another thing to know is communication. It's important, but it isn't necessary. For those of you who like to play without comms, it's not the end of the world, but when playing with a team who's in a squad or just communicates in the game, they definitely have the advantage as they should, so just know that. Hope you guys found this useful. If you want to run some lobbies, join the Discord down below and pull up to the next stream. Till next time, love you, see ya.